Actually, I gotta upload the other videos first before I do this one. Yeah, let me do that. This is the beginning of the horizontal stabilizer. So if you remember early on, I basically just put all the parts into little bins, and if they were rudder, vertical stabilizer, horizontal stabilizer, elevator, and I still kind of have them sorted that way. Small parts, medium parts, and then obviously the big parts. So all my ribs are in here. I'm just kind of going through here, laying them out, checking off what we got, and getting a game plan for tomorrow. What I did the last couple of days, like a few minutes here and there, I basically just flattened all of the ribs and the forward ribs and the main ribs here, and some of them needed the fluting pliers just a little bit more. And then I also used just a square piece of mahogany that I had to make sure that they are off a little bit, bad example, but that they are as square as can be, as far as this being perpendicular to the actual rib itself. So anyway, that's what I did, one by one by one by one by one by one. Went through and got them all as flat as I possibly can, and now we're going to try and make that. So I got overly ambitious. It says here, ensure the pre-drilled holes in the spars and doublers match with each other, and the pre-drilled holes in the spars are on one side. This will orientate the spars so that both undrilled flanges are on the same side. Alright, so this one I happen to get right. The holes line up with the inner and the outer spar. This one, I got both wrong. The holes line up. I have to take this spar off and flip it over so the holes are on the top. So, looks like they have the holes on top, and also looks like they have holes on the bottom. I'm still confused on this middle one here. Exactly where they go, but I'll figure it out. I was a little confused on these guys. The drawings are so small, but it's basically this one lines up, then over, and then this one lines up. Even though I'm OCD, I have one that's facing this way rather than somehow symmetrically, but I guess that's just the way this is. I just put the blue tape so I can find the center easier. You can tell by the way I lift it. So that is the center rib. And the other thing I was confused about is this one doesn't have the third drilled hole in there, but it does require a different rivet. This is the 41, I believe, that goes in there. And I think there's only 2 of the 41s, so I'm guessing you drill it out, match drill it from that side, and then put the rivet in. Now I'm going to take the whole back side off, and they want me to rivet the entire front side, and the reason they do that is so I can get the rivet gun in here. I can bend the ribs out of the way, get the rivet gun in, and then rivet on the back side from here. Yeah. Right, let's do that. Okay, we had I had a little absent. Was busy at work doing stuff, on the weekend. But I'm going to cut the bend tabs off, and what I found works pretty well is just put a piece of tape to kind of guide the edge. Wider tape I assume would be better because it's less likely to deviate left and right. And then I use my plastic, oh wait, I have to turn off the radio because my last video got copyright infringement because Blind Melon was playing in the background. So yeah, anyway, back. I was using the plastic blade on the Dremel, and basically just gonna cut that, and the last one, and file it down. And I think what I'm gonna do, instructions say to rivet all this together, but then when you match drill all the skins, you end up with all the burrs inside here. So I'm going to keep the Clecos in, Cleco the skins on, and then take it all apart, clean out the Cleco the skins on, match drill them, then take it all apart again and clean it up. Here we go. So yeah, I think that came out really nice. Seems to be really nice and straight. So like I said, I cut it with the Dremel tool, and as I mentioned before, the plastic blade seems to work better than the metal blade on aluminum. Then I take the air grinder and I get most of it out. Then I take a flat file just to make sure it's actually flat and there's no high spots, using the rest of it as a guide, so to say. And then a piece of flat block sandpaper, get any of the burrs off. And then at the very end, you take this little like rounded file, smooth out all the edges. I think it looks really good. Now I gotta do the other one. Alright, I got the skins on, all Clecoed. Like I said, I'm actually Clecoing the insides. I didn't rivet them yet. I put the access plates on, inspection plates, and one thing I was hung up on is pushing these bronze bushings into the hinges, and I went through the manual 6 times, never saw it on the parts diagram. You cannot, it's hard to see, but they're not pushed in there. So I asked somebody online, and they actually pointed out their manual, which has it, but mine didn't. So this is 5 steps here, and the 4th one is press the bronze flanges and flange bearings into the hinges. Mine doesn't have that. So I basically just wasted a bunch of time overthinking it, as usual. I'll get better at this, but in case somebody has an old manual like me, and you're wondering at which point, or if you should or should not push the bronze bushings into the hinges, well, I guess you should. Oh well, live and learn. Alright, the horizontal stabilizer continues. I did not rivet the spars together. What I did do is Cleco everything and match drilled all of the holes in the spar. Now what I'm going to do is take it all apart, take all the Clecos out, and this way I can deburr the doublers in the front and rear spar separately. I also have it within 0.1 degree on either side. It's kind of as close as I can get it. I tried to do at 0. Now we're on 2. But measured it a dozen times and it's still at 0.1 or 0.2. All I did here is I bought these bags on Amazon that you use for putting weight on cameras, and there was 2 of them. So I just took a hot knife and I cut them apart and I filled them with sand, because the lead bags are so damn expensive that this works out pretty well. I put the sand, I bought a 50-pound bag of sand, I filled them up in gallon Ziploc bags, and then those are inside here, so they're like triple insulated. I have a couple more under here if we need it. I should have, yeah, there's a 5th one down there. And those work out pretty good. All right, here we go. So I deburred all the holes, and now they tell you that you have to countersink all of these because of the flush rivets. So I got this dimpler at Aircraft Spruce. I think it was like $20. And you use a nail in it. Comes with some nails. Yeah, just like that. Sandwich it in. You use the hand riveter. Sorry, trying to get out of the picture there. And basically just give it a good squeeze. Not too tight, you don't want to rip the nail out. So you have to do this to the ribs as well as the skin, and that'll allow the flush rivets to sit in. I won't bore you with the rest of these. On the spar, I have to countersink those, and I also believe I have to do this one going in on the center rib right here with the dimpler. These ones will get countersunk. I bought a fancy countersink here somewhere. Yeah, this guy. It's 120 degree, 1/4 inch, 6 fluted countersink, sinker, and I'm going to do those with that. Moving right along, the countersinking is done. The rivets fit really nice. I love the way the flush rivets look. And click out everything, reattach the skins, measured it twice, checked it twice, and basically put as many Clecos as I have. This is the lower side of the wing, because the access panels are on the other side. And did them every other hole except for here, where I left 2 in between in every 3rd hole. But basically now we're gonna start riveting. You just have to be careful because these are flush here, but because they go into the spar, they're a little bit longer. Those are the 43s, and then here I just put a little mark on there so I don't confuse myself. These are 42s. This one's a 42, and these are 42s, and then the same thing on the other side. And also inside here, because there's a spar doubler starting, I think, on the 3rd rib in, so these are going to be longer than these. It's all right here, as long as you got good eyes or a magnifying glass, you're in good shape. All right, we're back at it. We riveted the bottom side, and I have a helper today. And tonight we're gonna rivet the top side. The top side because it has the access panels. I had these weights laying there. These are my 10-pound weights, and I actually got the little level to be 100% straight on either end, meaning this guy read 0 when I put a little bar across there. And we will carry on. Success. It's starting to look more like a plane than a porcupine, or at least a plane wing. Got all of these. That's my dog barking. Have to be careful because these are a different size from these, but yet this one's different from that. These are all a different size where the doubler is on the spar. You can see inside here, and then these are smaller rivets, and then all the ones on the ribs are different again. Now we're going to try and trim these little plastic caps to fit in there. Now we're going to cut the end caps that supposedly fit in there. I'll do that with the Dremel tool. Actually, let me mark them first. It's all white, it's kind of hard to see. Oops. Hello, Sasha. We'll give that a whirl. Fast forward. Alright, here you have it. The trimmed piece, just a rough cut. I'll take it and I'll sand it on my little sanding block here. And the idea is that it's supposed to go in there. So I've got a little bit of a overhang there. I'm probably not going to go much further than that because it says you may want to wait until the elevator is done, basically, to line these up. And I think that's a good point to leave off. And why would they mix two different flavors of popcorn? I mean, cheese and caramel. I like them both, but not together. I'll have to suffer.